Hearing none, I will entertain a motion and a second to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. Item number 5, contract award, general legal services. I will ask Mr. Linares and Mr. Curran for comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of the organization, I'm presenting to you this paper seeking approval of our outside legal counsel contract for the next 5 years, 3 initial years and 2 renewals. We had 59 different applications from 19 different law firms in the 7 practice areas, which, as you can imagine, with lawyers knowing how to write long things, that ended up being over 500 pages of materials for the committees, the various committees to review. We had different committees for each one of these working areas. So I want to thank all those folks that were involved in that. And I see Dan Fry is here. He's been very involved in that review. Dave Tobin was part of that review as well. Tom has been a part of that review. So all the folks that had to read all those proposals, I thank you for your patience with me. We continue to be committed to lowering costs in these areas, but we do require the expertise of outside counsel, particularly on liability, workers' compensation, and all of our employment practices matters to stay ahead and to stay risk-free as best we can, and as well as our general counsel services that supplement the work that I'm doing as well. So I'm happy to take any questions. We do have different numbers of attorneys on some of these contracts. For example, corporate counsel, we wanted to make sure we have some folks from Illinois available to us on that. So you will see that we've got a couple of Illinois firms in addition to Lashley Bear, who's been with us for a long time. Hush Blackwell is new in that category. They had some expertise with O'Hare Airport and some other things that were pretty unique that we thought that I think probably the committee found valuable. So that's why they've been added to the corporate counsel contract. Workers' compensation, we do have a new firm, McEnany, Van Cleve, and Phillips. So, and just in case people have questions about are we adding new firms or looking at this differently, yes. So there are firms that have been with us previously who are no longer with us, and we have added firms as well. Pension and benefits, Lashley and Bear, who's been with us for some time. We previously had Jackson Lewis, but they did not rebid. So Lashley and Bear, who knows our pension system, has been selected there. Employment practice liability, we have quite a few firms because there's sometimes where there's multiple employees involved and you need conflict counsel. And we also use different firms for investigations or to support investigations as needed. I don't anticipate using all 8 of those firms very frequently. Probably the first 2 or 3 we would use most frequently, and the others would be more conflict counsel. Subrogation, that's for collection for by state on instances where we need to collect back when we've paid. There's some interesting firms there that have done excellent work in subrogation previously. Labor and employment, that's more specifically for our collective bargaining agreements and our relations with the unions. McMahon Berger and Ford Harrison have both been involved in those efforts previously. And in liability, we have 5 firms, I believe all of which have been with us previously on liability and have performed quite well. And so we're happy to retain those. Happy to answer any questions if you have them about these contracts or anything else regarding to our legal services.
Are there any questions?
Greg, how do you feel like we're doing with this new, this new effort and these new contracts to be, cost conscious while also balancing the need to get effective counsel here? What sort of mitigation efforts have you been putting in place there?
Well, there's been a few things, and I'm happy that I could do a separate report on that if the board would want, and I'd be happy to do that as far as what we're trying to do in terms of cost containment measures. The first thing we did with Ms. Paris' help is we consolidated all the budgets for the different organizations into the legal budget. So previously in the organization, everybody had their own legal budget. We now have one legal budget. Claims continues to have theirs because those are budgeted as part of the claims, but I feel like I have a good handle on that because Dan literally sits right next to me, so we're talking about claims every day. But the rest of the budgets have all been consolidated, so people have to have a prior request to me to have outside legal counsel granted. And there's been a number of times when that's been the case where I will then just do the work myself, or we'll make sure we're doing that in-house. So we're only farming out things where we know either A, there's an expertise that's needed, or B, there's a timeline where it's required. In terms of things that are internal contracts and the like, we're doing the vast majority of that in-house. And when there's litigation, there's litigation. Obviously, we want the expertise that people who are seasoned in litigation. And, you know, I hope you all like me, but I don't think you want me in a courtroom every day. You want the folks that are used to being in a courtroom every day to do that work. And so a lot of the mitigation efforts there are things that Dan Fry and Andrew Giassi are doing. We are looking at a number of things that really aren't legal's control, but we're sort of the end game of it that you see in terms of what Andrew's doing with safety reports, what we're doing with to try to mitigate, to do new driver training, to look at what instances are causing more injuries in terms of workers' comp to reduce those. So there's a number of efforts that risk and safety are trying to do to look at those numbers to get those things down. In terms of employment practices liability, one of the big efforts that we're taking on this year is a mandatory office-wide manager training so that we're having calibration and consistency in how different managers are handling employment actions so that we're making an effort to lower costs in the employment practices liability area. We're starting to see some benefits of that. And we've definitely seen a lot in the general counsel area where we've cut, in 24, we cut costs in half there just by having me on staff and not farming those things out. So we're constantly looking at costs. Talby has definitely tasked me with that and reminds me that frequently. So it's definitely top of mind, but you want to balance cost control with making sure we're getting professional services. So we're trying to strike that balance as best we can. I'm happy to provide data on that if needed.
Thanks for that answer. And I think it's important that you highlighted too the tie-in to risk, safety, and training, because obviously if we're doing risky things, that increases our exposure or
100%.
that increases costs. So I like that you're thinking about it holistically. So thank you.
You're welcome.
If I could add, Chair, also part of this is, and Greg has done an excellent job of this, incorporating his expertise and having department heads comfortable with a regular business interaction with legal. That helps us anticipate problems rather than working on them in reverse. And certainly highlight of those is, for instance, Mr. Forrest, Mr. Giassi, our safety director, and all of those being proactive in those measures is key. I want to thank Mr. Lenars for that work. It's been instrumental.
Any other questions or comments for Mr. Lenars? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion and a second to approve the item as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passed. Item number 6, contract award, third-party administrator claim services. I will ask Dan Fry for comments.
Good morning, Commissioners, and thank you for your time. We are looking to have a contract for third-party claims administrator services. They handle the general claim services related to auto liability, general liability, and workers' compensation for us. Bi-State Development has been self-insured since 1978. In 2021, we outsourced our claims handling to a TPA with risk management overseeing that with a 4-person staff. Back in November, we went out for solicitation for a 3 base year and 2 option year contract and received 5 responses. 3 of them were deemed responsive, and the scoring and price comparisons are provided in the write-up. The Thomas McGee Group was the leader and deemed to be the best firm for this and selected. So the previous contract was a 3-year 3 base year, 2 option year contract at a cost of $3.6 million. This new contract we're also requesting a 3 base year and 2 option year contract at a cost of $3.805 million. So a relatively minor increase over a 5-year period. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Fry?
I think Greg might have a comment here.
I just want to comment to thank Dan for his hard work in reviewing these packets and the hard work that they do every day. Our risk management folks are constantly in contact with the third-party administrator getting ahead of these claims. The TPA, that privatization of that, to go into a contract service, that was before my time, and I'm sure a number of you on the board were involved in that, but that has reaped significant benefits. I mean, that $3.8 million is still significantly below what you would be paying employees for that same service. And they bring expertise from across the state. They've dealt with KCATA. They've dealt with other folks, high-level folks. So this firm is excellent. And Dan and Sherelle and Stephen are doing great work interacting with them and making sure we're staying ahead of claims. And so I just want to thank them for their work.
Thank you. Any other comments? I will entertain a motion and a second to approve the item as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passed. Item number 7, salary PTO retirement savings program. I will ask Dave Tobin for comments.
Good morning, Commissioners. As stated, I'm here to present on agenda item number 7, which is a request to approve a salaried PTO retirement savings program. Back in 2014, Bi-State moved to a paid time off benefit combining separate vacation and sick leave accruals for its salaried employees. The benefit's been well received over the years, and it includes a service-based accrual schedule rewarding longer-term employees with a maximum annual accrual of 280 hours and an annual carryover limit of 360 hours. To add flexibility and assist salaried employees in managing their time off needs, we did pilot a PTO savings opportunity in late 2025, whereby anyone having at least 200 hours of accrued PTO were eligible to convert an amount of 40 hours into a one-time contribution to their BSD 401k account. IRS guidelines allowed us to convert that accrued benefit to an employer discretionary contribution, thereby not running into the IRS employee limit for their annual limit for a 401k, but fall within the combined employer and employee one. So it was sort of an incentive beyond what an employee was already contributing on their own. That pilot program was very well received, with approximately 40% of those eligible actually participating in it. And so based on the success of that pilot, a desire to increase flexibility with the benefit and to support retirement preparation, management is recommending making the salaried PTO retirement savings program a permanent addition to our portfolio of benefits. The eligibility parameters would remain the same as with the pilot, but we recommend offering the opportunity to convert 40 hours of PTO twice per year. The first opportunity would be during a May-June processing cycle to manage the PTO accrual liability before the end of our fiscal year on June 30th. And then the second would be in the November-December timeframe for employee PTO management and to avoid loss on December 31st due to that annual carryover limit, which I mentioned earlier, of 360 hours. Management is requesting your approval of the program and subsequent modifications that would be needed to the 401k plan, which would be to include PTO cash outs as a part of the definition of compensation, which is not currently in the plan. and add language on how and when PTO conversions are contributed, including their valuation, which would be at the time based upon the employee's hourly rate, and the vesting status, which would be at 100% vesting, because we're already moving an accrued benefit, which is that PTO that the employee has. So with that, that concludes my remarks, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Just a question, is this the general practice of your industry? Or maybe it's just a practice that you're evolving? Because PTO typically, I think, is it not, if it's not used, it's lost, and here you're trying to ensure that it's not lost to employees if they don't take it? Is that what I'm understanding?
That is one factor, yes. So our PTO accrual schedule is fairly rich, and that was put in place, as I mentioned, back in 2014, and combined vacation and sick leave into one bank. We do have a fairly generous carryover of 360 hours, which is 45 days. But what we found is that employees accumulate a lot of PTO, and many will lose because they've got more than the 360 hours at the end of the calendar year. But it also is to help employees manage their PTO bank so that they don't lose the time, but that they don't have to take off a bunch of time at the end of the year, which we are seeing happen frequently. So this is an already accrued benefit, and it's essentially neutral to budget because, you know, we're just shifting it from one bucket to another. But when you ask if it's standard industry practice, it's fairly innovative, and it just supports our desire to add more flexibility to the accrued benefits we already have. And so we felt that this was something that we could do to add some flexibility to that already accrued benefit.
Just one thing, it would be a cost item, however, would it not? Because if you don't allow the transport to your IRA, and it grows the IRA, it does a lot of things on that, on that side, it's money that wouldn't be expended at the end of the year. You just wouldn't carry it over. If it's unused, it's lost at the end of the year. So you are incurring a cost associated with this posture.
Well,
Aren't you, Tammy, aren't you?
So let me start by maybe saying some of the advantage too, is that, so yes, you're right. If they lose the time, they technically lost the benefit of having that vacation time, which is what we see. As Dave mentioned, this was done back in 2014 that gave the ability to bank that 360 hours because at the time, employees had even more time. Am I correct, Dave? In the sense of they had sick time and vacation time. And so this reduced that amount of time that they had. There was some also additional benefit related to how that worked with the pension that was really costly to the agency. So this was kind of, at the time, it was in my opinion, it was a reduction in the benefit to the employee. But one of the things that is an advantage, or a couple of the things that are advantages right now, is number one is that, the cost that we pay for this when they're cashing out is the cost of their current pay. So whatever their hourly rate is currently. The other thing is that there has been changes in the IRS about what you can contribute as a catch-up contribution. So in some ways, this helps the employee because now those are after-tax contributions that for the catch-up. So this is a way that this can help benefit the employee, and it goes against what the employer contributes. So I know I'm saying a lot of things, and that's not necessarily what the question was, but I just want to give some additional background as to why we thought this was an advantage. And as Dave was saying, what we see a lot is people are taking off at the end of the year, trying to take that time off, which is it's difficult for the company because we need those employees here all year. And so this kind of helps mitigate that and helps us get where we need to be from a standpoint of our employees here working.
So I was right, it is a cost item.
Yeah, there is some additional cost to it. It's more of a cost as far as the cash that we're putting out currently on it, that we're paying it out in cash right now when we do these benefits.
Do we know what that cost would be, that extra cost?
So, Dave, can you help me out with that? I think based on the 40% that they took, was it a couple $100,000 that we actually paid out for the pilot?
Correct. It was around 225,000 for the pilot back in the November, December 2025 range. The other thing that I'll just sort of add that is, and Tammy can probably expound on this a little bit more, is that when we pay PTO, there are payroll taxes associated with that on the part of both the employee and the employer. So by transitioning this as an employer contribution to their 401k, we do avoid paying those payroll taxes. So there is a slight advantage to have it moving to the 401k versus it actually being paid out, as a paid time off benefit because of that payroll tax. And that's an advantage for both the employee and the employer. So we thought that helped to offset the fact that, yes, some people that would have lost some PTO at the end of the year, now we're paying that out, or we're transitioning that through this conversion program.
Again, it's not a savings, truly it's a cost, because typically, I don't know, in many environments, PTO isn't paid out at the end of the year. If it's not used, it's just, it's just lost, it's not paid out. So that obligation does not rest or fall on the employer, unless it's the employer's option, as it is your option to pay it out. It's not required that you pay it out, it's just your option to pay it out. So thank you for the answers. Thank you very much.
Mr. Tobin, can you
If I can add a
expound?
little bit of clarity, okay? All of the employees do have the right to carry over 360 hours, period. So we have to book that. Tammy has to book that obligation, okay? It is unusual and the only time that this would add additional costs to the company is if an employee were to sacrifice, or in other words, they would lose because they were over 360 hours. While that occasionally happens, it is rare. It's much more common for them, for instance, in a December or November time period that they take off every Friday, which becomes a very difficult problem given how short-staffed we are. We need people to show up to work. So because they have the right to book the 360 hours, it's unusual and the cost to the company is only those who would have been sacrificing a few hours here and there. So that is, so it is really more of a cost neutral proposal within what is going on. It simply moves the employees to the behavior that we want, as in 401k savings, and also avoids the end of year PTO taking that tends to be very difficult for us to manage. So I just want to, make that very strong point. It is not a net add except for an employee who did not manage their PTO and would be sacrificing beyond 360 hours.
Toby, how many employees does this affect?
It affects the entire salaried operation. So close to 400 employees, Commissioner, roughly speaking.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll add to that, again, there are requirements to have at least 200 hours of paid time off accumulated so that if you elect to participate in this opportunity, you would have a remaining 160 hours. So this really is sort of also incentivizing people to manage their PTO, but to help people who are longer term employees who have accumulated, massive amounts of that PTO.
Mr.
So I guess,
Tobin, would you?
good.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Tobin, do you mind sharing why this offer is only being made to salary employees?
We only have one other group that actually has PTO according to their collective bargaining agreement, and that is the Caller Ride Unit. And they started accruing PTO on January 1 of 2025. And in reality, they do have the option to contribute some of that paid time off to their 401k under the collective bargaining agreement. But unfortunately, it is at an an employee contribution, so it's subject to their limits. So I think it's something that we should look at down the road. There's not a high level of need or participation because the accrual schedule is lower, and it just started back in January of 2025. Everyone else under collective bargaining agreements has a vacation and sick leave accrual program, and how they use and have access to those accrued benefits are dictated by their respective collective bargaining agreements.
Thank you.
So is it our belief that if we go with this, that it's going to improve absenteeism as far as scheduling? That instead of an employee using PTO time, they just don't use a sick day?
Correct. That's exactly very insightful. That's a lot of times in the December time, in particular with management or maintenance situations with experienced employees who, of course, are the ones that I most need. They've accumulated a lot of time, and they will, for instance, instead of sacrificing time on a December and even November, sometimes they will be taking off every Friday or Monday. Now, typically, a lot of times, these are the type of employees who call in or come in anyway if they're needed because they just are dedicated to their jobs. So we just saw this as a way to manage that absenteeism, which can be a problem for us in the November and December periods of time. When we were moving through some maintenance issues, you may recall, Chairman Simmons, you and I were working on some maintenance issues, and we would have that individual on a December, and they would be out on Friday, and that would cause us some issues. Now, they answered the call, but it has been an issue, and this is a way for us to manage through it fairly and at a mostly cost-neutral approach from the company standpoint.
Okay, thank you. And is this something that has to be done right away?
No. We have done it as a pilot, which you authorized us to do as a pilot, but we haven't done it as a permanent program. So of course it's the board's discretion. It does take time for us to put these programs together and offer them to the employees so they can do the planning. So it would be reasonable if the board decided to defer this time to ask for additional information or anything like that. Obviously, that's something that we endeavor to do. So we could do that and retake it up in the April 23rd. If that's the board's pleasure, I'm happy to respond.
Thank you.
I would like to ask that we consider that. I am just from an era of management posture being more intrinsic than extrinsic. So if we could, maybe I can request just a more in-depth discussion. I'd appreciate an April view of this as opposed to moving it forward today. I don't know how anyone else feels.
That makes sense to me too.
Yeah, I support that. So we will hold item number 7 until additional information can be shared. And that will be done on the April 23rd meeting. Any other comments? Item number 8, contract award, dental plan administration services. I will ask Anita Dunn for comments.
Good morning, Commissioners. We're requesting your approval and referral to the full Board of Commissioners, this request to authorize the President and CEO to enter into a 5-year contract, which would consist of 3 base years, 2 option years for our dental administrative services beginning January 1st, 2027. In February of this year, Gallagher, who is our health and welfare consultant, in conjunction with Bi-State's Internal Procurement Department, issued a solicitation to identify qualified vendors to provide comprehensive dental plan administrative services. 3 qualified proposals were received. After we met with Gallagher and our evaluation team, we reviewed all of the submissions based on the technical and cost components. Based on our evaluation, we agreed with Gallagher's recommendation that we go with Delta Dental's proposal, as it overall was the best option for Bi-State in terms of cost and plan administration capabilities. Therefore, we're recommending that you approve and refer to the Board of Commissioners this request to authorize the President and CEO to enter into a 5-year contract with Delta Dental for dental plan administrative services effective January 1st, 2027, in a not to exceed amount of $5,820,650. And I'm happy to answer any questions that any of you may have.
For Ms. Dunn, any comments? Thank you, Ms. Dunn. Hearing none, I will entertain a motion and a second to approve the item as presented.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion does pass. Item number 9, pension plan, 401k retirement savings programs, and OPEB trust, investment performance updates as of December 31st, 2025. I will ask Carmen Brothers for comments.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here to present an informational update under Agenda Item 9 regarding the defined benefit pension plans, defined contribution 401k plan, and other post-employee benefits OPEB trusts. This update reflects plan activity and performance as of December 31st, 2025. I will begin with the 401k plan, which reported total assets of $123.2 million. This represents an increase of $14.7 million, driven by contributions and investment earnings. Of that amount, $14.9 million reflects combined employer and employee contributions. Next, the salary pension plan ended the period with assets totaling $115.6 million, supported by total investment gains of $14 million. The IBW plan reported assets of $8.7 million, as this is a mature closed plan, as we continue to rebalance the investment portfolio prudently to reduce risk and preserve funded status. The ATU pension plan concluded the period with $199.5 million in assets and total investment gains of $27.1 million. And finally, the OPEB trust ended the year with assets of $88.4 million, reflecting total investment gains of $12.4 million. Detailed performance reports for each plan are included as exhibits in your board packet. This presentation is provided for informational purposes only, and I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions, comments for Ms. Brothers? As stated, this information was presented for information only. Hearing none. Moving to items number 10 and 11, financial statements, Treasury's report. These items are being presented as information only, and I will ask Tammy Paris for comments.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. The financial update for December 31st for Executive Services ended the second quarter with income of 2.3 million. This is 800,000 more than budget, and it's primarily due to increased transit fees and timing related to decreased service and other expenses. The Gateway Arch ended the second quarter at 400,000, and this is 700,000 less than budget. This decrease is due to the federal lapse in appropriation, which resulted in multiple closures of the arch. For the riverboats, they ended the quarter at 290,000 in income after depreciation. And this team's really focused on the revenue income of both vessels in FY26. The St. Louis Downtown Airport had income before depreciation of 50,000, and this is mostly due to timing. Freightway had a loss of 96.6 thousand. And that we discuss that at the end of each year, and we'll be talking about that here shortly. As related to transit, income before depreciation was 656,000 at December 31st. So revenues are down 1.3 million, and this is a result of budget projections compared to sales tax collections. The sales tax has improved, closing the gap on the shortfall, and combined sales tax collections for St. Louis City and County are up 2% over last year. Passenger revenue is up $1 million over our budget, and overall expenses are down $5 million for the most part in services, and this is primarily due to timing. When we look at the self-insurance funds, as we've been discussing recently, we're down about 880,000, and this is primarily due to the health service fund and prescription drug cost. So we are looking at some different options as we move through the year and things that we can consider in trying to help with this issue. For cash and investment at December 31st, by-state directed funds were 368.2 million, and by-state trustee directed funds were 24.9 million, for a total of 393.1 million, and both had a rate of 3.7%. The fuel hedge had a realized loss of only 13.3 thousand year to date. We budgeted $2.39 per gallon. The actual cost was $2.38. So the $2.39 is where we actually ended the quarter, which is totally on budget. And that's my presentation this morning, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Paris? Any comments? Hearing none. Thank you, Ms. Paris.
Thank you.
Item number 12, Treasury Safekeeping Report. This item is being presented as information only, and I will ask Crystal Messner for comments.
Good morning, Commissioners. Internal audit determined that the Treasury safekeeping accounts exist and the respective balances, credit ratings, and the fuel hedging are stated fairly for the Treasury report ending December 31st, 2025. Collateral posted by the PNC Bank in conjunction with our FDIC insurance were adequate to secure the demand deposit amounts, and the sweep accounts were at a collateralization of 100.15% as of January 2nd, 2026. This is presented for informational purposes, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions or comments? I just want to say thank you to Ms. Messner. We meet pretty frequently, and she does a fine job and is very responsive to my questions. So thank you, Ms. Messner.
Thank you, Commissioner AJ.
Hearing none, item number 13, unscheduled business. Mr. Roach, is there any unscheduled business?
Yes, Commissioner, I do want to bring up a unscheduled business issue that Chairman Gladney asked me to address. So I'm going to go right into that. I've actually asked our Safety Director, Mr. Giassi, to join us this morning on this. Chairman Gladney asked just to talk a little bit about some of the pedestrian strikes, as we've had some that are very uncomfortable, and we want to be sure that we are dealing with those very thoroughly. So I just want to talk in specific. We've had pedestrian strikes that have been at stations, and though all of our issues are always reviewed, and we do produce an after-action report, which I forwarded to you. That report is then also sent to our state safety oversight partners in Missouri and Illinois, and we have regular safety meetings in which we try to confront what are the issues that we're dealing with here, how can we make our system safer. I like to think of it as a very important evolution. And in review of the last incidents in which we really had some customers that were inattentive at crossings and even with earbuds, I've asked Mr. Giassi to look at some solutions to that issue. And he has been looking into, is there some strobe lights or some additional safety items we can add to be sure that our customers are being attentive to our moving trains, because we want to avoid any of those issues as much as possible. So I've asked Andrew to specifically look at that issue, and we are moving forward. Mr. Giassi, can you comment on that just briefly so the board knows that we are moving forward in this issue?
Good morning, Commissioners. Yes, Mr. Roach noted, we've been heavily involved in an investigation for recent pedestrian-involved incidents, and we are looking at technology to help bridge that gap. One of the items that we currently have deployed on our trains is a system called ProTran One, which does help us alert train operators of approaching work zones. We're working with the manufacturer to help it maybe alert externally to a device that could be mounted at our Z crossings that we currently have configured at the stations. We're hopeful in that solution. We've got several meetings that have occurred with these vendors, and if we can get that solution online, it should be an easy integration with our current notification systems that we have on our trains at this time. We also have another vendor that's working with our GPS alerting tool that notifies our passengers that trains are on arrival. So we're looking to tie into that system also, maybe with an active warning device with bells, whistles, lights, things of that nature that are cued from the train's GPS location. Again, one more layer of safety that we have in addition to our Z crossings and signage that we have at the stations this time. So well underway. I'll keep the commissioners briefed and through Mr. Roach as we kind of work through these solutions, and as we try them at a few locations, we're hopeful that they will be implemented system-wide at all of our crossings in the future.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Giassi. I also want to comment, we had some other non-station related that have to do with really trespassers on the alignment. We have had occasion of that, and let me just say that what we've done in those sections, and we have a very active program securing the alignment with partnership with, for instance, MoDOT. In particular, we had a difficult section that travels underneath Highway 64. We have put some fencing up. We have had some fencing cut down, but we are continuing that and trying to be sure that we're being very rigorous and responsive. But there are instances that we cannot prevent. What we will do is do everything that we reasonably can, and we're going to continue to make those investments. And I want to just reiterate to the board, we appreciate your support. And it's very reasonable for you to ask how we are moving forward on these issues. So that concludes my unscheduled business. I just wanted to be very thorough with that answer. And if any of the commissioners would like more follow-up, we have a ton of paperwork associated with this, and I'm happy to do that. So if there aren't any questions, I'm going to pause for a minute to be sure.
Any questions for Mr. Roach? Hearing none, we will move into the president's report, CEO report.
Very good. So again, I want to thank everyone for their efforts on FY27 moving forward. Again, I want to reiterate, Tammy Paris has successfully negotiated with Mr. Sharkey, and I always want to thank St. Clair County for that strong partnership. Mr. Sharkey moved right away on those contracts and have made them available for us to move through the board. We will do so in April. And speaking of April, that April 23rd board meeting is very important. I sympathize and I appreciate this board's rigorous efforts to be here in this quorum. So I would ask you all to check your calendars to be sure that that April 23rd is still open for you, because that quorum will be very key to us completing our business. And I want to thank you for your significant patience in dealing with those issues. Additionally, Chairman Simmons asked for just a quick update on ATU negotiations, and they are ongoing. Mr. Forrest has requested another meeting with the international, and as you know, since the local is in receivership, we do have the international who is holding those negotiations. That does mean that it takes a little bit more time with that travel schedule, and I think our workforce would like to be under contract, as would we. I will say that the meetings have been very productive and respectful. I know that, for instance, the international asked Tammy Paris to attend one of those meetings and go over the financials. I know she did very thoroughly, and I received some compliments on our willingness to sit down with ATU and go over the financials on what money we have available. So that's very key. I'm very hopeful that Mr. Forrest can land a contract sometime soon, as we see that partnership as something that should continue and grow. And that concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Hey,
Roach.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
excuse me, Toby, could you repeat that date? I want to make sure that I had that in my schedule.
Yes, April 23rd.
Thank you.
And we are starting, I apologize, I forgot one thing. I have the note right in front of me. I apologize for that. But we did get a request from the county to have that Chairman Gladney has allowed to have a County Councilwoman Webb has asked to address the board. Those are active and ongoing negotiations. They are difficult and challenging. Obviously, the county is going through its budget issues. However, our budget is separate from theirs. So moving through that and having the council aware of that has been a bit of a challenge. I have welcomed Councilwoman Webb, and we will have a comment from her at the April 23rd meeting, at the beginning of the meeting, to respect an elected official who has asked for an audience. In the meantime, Chairman Gladney has also offered, and Councilwoman Webb has accepted, a lunch invitation for us, just to be sure that we're square and things are going well. I want to thank Chairman Gladney for his willingness to do so. And this is just part of the overall budget process. So I do thank you for that. And I apologize for leaving that out on my notes.
Thank you, Mr. Roach. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, Toby, real quick on the ATU negotiations. Do you know when that last negotiation meeting was and how long they've been without a contract?
Ron, do you remember the date of the last negotiating meeting offhand?
It was in November of last year. Don't know the specific date, but we did meet with them in November.
And
how long they've been without a contract?
The contract expired last year, July 1st, but they are currently under the same contract.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none. Item number 15, call for dates for future meetings. Ms. Bennett, will you give a summary of upcoming board and committee meeting dates, please?
Yes, Chair, as noted, the next Board of Commissioners meeting is scheduled for Thursday, April 23rd. It has been suggested that that meeting start at 8 a.m. as opposed to 8:30 a.m. So when you check your calendars, if you could look at 8 o'clock versus 8:30, that would be appreciated. The next Safety and Security Committee meeting will be held on Thursday, May 14th. The next Audit, Finance, and Administration Committee meeting, as well as Operations Committee meeting, will be held on May 28th. All of those meetings beginning at 8:30.
Thank you, Ms. Bennett. Item number 16, adjournment to executive session. I will need a motion and a second for this committee to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing legal, confidential, or privileged matters as permitted under Bi-State Development Board Policy, Chapter 10, Section 10.080, D1 Legal, and D10 Auditors.
So moved. So moved.
Second.
Ms. Bennett, will you please poll the committee?
Commissioner Beach,
Yes.
Commissioner Simmons,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Galladay,
Yes.
Commissioner Gladney,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
and Commissioner Jackson Jennings.
Yes.
The motion passed.